call my baby Patty, but her real name is Linda Lou. Yeah, they call my baby Patty, her real name is Linda Lou. She's so fine and dandy, they wanna know what she's gonna do. Yeah, she walks down the street, all the cats turn and look around. Yeah, she walks down the street, all the cats turn and look around. She's so fine and dandy, they wanna know what she's putting down. I'm gonna marry that chick next Saturday night. Love and protect her, it's all inside my head. From now on, slowly days of blue. La 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 la. Linda Lou, Linda Lou, Linda Lou. Girl, won't you tell me what you gonna do? My Linda Lou, Linda Lou. Girl, won't you tell me what you gonna do? Yeah, you look so fine, baby. Your name gotta be Linda Lou. My Linda Lou.
Hello, welcome to the Galena Park Boxing Academy and Youth Center. If you've seen the banner I just showed you on the screen, you probably noticed a lot of national champions. There are about 24 of them, and 16 of them started from scratch here in this gym. And I know how hard it is to develop world-class amateur boxers. I've worked with Olympians and I've worked with a lot of professional boxers, including Vinny Pazienza, Mike McCallum, Evander Holyfield, who I currently work with. And you know, here in this gym, we believe that the definition of boxing is the art of hitting an opponent from the furthest distance away, exposing the least amount of your body while getting in position to punch with maximum leverage and not getting hit. And I want to put an emphasis on not getting hit. If you've seen our You Can Learn to Box videos, you should know the basic fundamentals of boxing by now. They're the #1 selling instructional boxing video in the world. They've sold over 100,000 worldwide. Now it's time, though, to be more specific about boxing, to teach correctness in an advanced manner. In order to do that, you know, it takes a lot of technical knowledge. So today, I hope to give you some of the knowledge that I've accumulated over the many years I've been in boxing. We call these videos the sweet science, and the reason we do that is because that's an old term in boxing that more or less talks about the sweetness of doing things technically correct. And so we want to do that through these new 4 videos we're doing for you coaches out there, so that you don't get general information about boxing. You're getting specific information, and everything we do will be specific. So right now, I guess we can just move on out to the gym and get started there. For you boxing coaches out there, if you've ever played golf and understand how specific golf is, well, boxing is as specific as golf, if not more so. And it's important that through your teaching, through the gym, that you teach these specifics. For instance, Benny Leonard once said that a boxer that's not thinking is like a water buffalo running into a brick wall. And what he meant by that is that you just don't go fight. You just don't go compete. You have to do things specific, and you need to know how to do those things. And if you have poor fundamentals, you cannot do those things. So if you've watched or studied our You Can Learn to Box videos on basic fundamentals, you're ready to take this next step. And through this next step, what you're going to learn is how to fight a runner, a slugger, a left-hander, and what we call a fighter, a guy that can box and is aggressive as well, like a Joe Frazier. So, their boxing is specific in how you train to beat these types of styles. Muhammad Ali would be considered a runner. We're going to show you how to beat Muhammad Ali. We're going to show you how to beat Rocky Marciano. We're going to show you how to beat any left-hander. If you do things technically correct and you learn the specificities of the art of teaching boxing, or for that matter, you boxers out there for the art of boxing, then you're going to be a lot more knowledgeable than 99.9% of the boxers and the coaches out there today. I believe that knowledge wins. I believe that hard work in the gym wins, but without knowledge, you're not going to beat a world-class amateur or a professional boxer. So that's what we're going to do here today. We're going to teach you specifically how to beat the slugger, the runner, the fighter, and the left-hander. And we're going to do that through specifics. So, tell you what, let's move over to the evaluation line and let me explain to you how important this evaluation line is to learning specifics. How many times have you seen or heard boxing coaches speak in generalizations? What I mean by that is, like, you got to get on him. You got to throw more punches. What's wrong with you, man? Can't you fight? What's wrong with you? Your whole family is watching you. Well, that's generalizing. Or why don't you throw more jabs? Or why don't you throw more right hands? Well, all that is generalizations of boxing. Well, you can't teach with that. They can copy, boxers can copy, but you can't teach with that. You would have to depend on that boxer having so much natural ability that he's going to make you look good. And you boxers out there, if you think natural abilities are just going to get you by, or going to get you to win a world championship, forget it. It ain't going to happen. You have to be able to do specific things. And let me talk about a specific here as opposed to a generalization. A generalization would be, I'm the boxer and the coach has just told me, look, you got to go get that guy. And you say, okay, I'm going to get him. Okay? Well, the problem with that is you ain't going to go very far because your head is coming in a straight line. Your height hasn't changed one time. You're on a level plane going at the guy. So you can't just go get him. You have to have the ability to do things so that you can go get him. Being specific. If you can see this evaluation line here, and we call it evaluation line because I can get a boxer in here for 10 minutes and tell you if he's ever been taught anything. So, if you look at this line, and as I come toward the camera, I want you to watch where my head goes each step. It goes back and forth across the line. You notice my left foot stays in front and my right foot stays in the back, and my head is moving laterally as I come to you. Same way as going backwards. My head is moving back and forth across the line. Well, in order to throw punches going forward with any kind of leverage and without getting hit, you have to be able to do these things. You have to be able, for instance, in order to throw a left hook, you want to get your head over your left foot. In order to throw the left hook so that you can pull it back to your right side. If you're going to throw the right hand, you have to throw that right hand off your right foot, transferring your weight to your left foot, and then throw the left hook back across. Now, if you note, my head is moving back and forth across the line. Let me tell you something else that's happening. As I throw this right hand and it lands I've changed my height. I've started here, and as it lands, my weight is down over my left leg, so it changes my height. If I throw a left hook, it changes from this position over to this position, even lower, so that I could throw a right uppercut if I wanted to. Every punch you throw in boxing sets up the next punch. If it's not setting up the next punch, then therefore your fundamentals are extremely bad. I'll give you an example. Vinny Pazienza, back when before he ever won his first world title, had a lot of foot movement, but his head would always come straight to you. He'd have a lot of junk, but he did not move his head from side to side. As he went along, he got better and better at it. As a matter of fact, if there's anybody in the world as a lightweight that moved their head better than Vinny Pazienza and got in position to punch better than Vinny Pazienza, I've never seen him. Whether you like Vinny Pazienza or not, when it come to skill, he was a very skillful guy. Maybe a little bit too much heart. But you know what? That's to brag about. That's not to complain about. But my point is that in order to do the things you need to do, if you're going to be aggressive, you have to be able to take your head across, and you have to be in position to roll going forward or backwards. You can do bumps from these positions, either one of them, from here and here. You can boogie up. For instance, take your head to your left foot, do a turn. There's so many different things you can do. But if you do not have the knowledge or have the ability to just simply break down, as we call it, break down to your left side and break down to your right side, it ain't going to matter how hard you hit, how fast you are, or anything else, because you're going to be a target with a good fighter. If you're going to teach boxing, this is a perfect place to start once a boxer has his fundamentals, because it'll teach him to get in position to throw all 9 punches of his arsenal. If he has less than 9 punches as an arsenal, that means that you boxing coaches out there, or I like to say sometimes so-called trainers or teachers, this is one of the first things you teach. Because if you don't teach this, the boxer will never reach his potential. So in doing these things, in doing the side-to-side breakdowns here, and shooting right down the line and boogieing up and shooting here, or going backwards and doing the same thing, or panic punching and breaking down and throwing back across, this is how you practice that. Our boxers practice this religiously. They practice it because it's going to make them better. If they don't do these things, if they don't practice these things, they're not going to reach the pinnacle that they are striving for. Okay? Now let's get ready to prepare to fight Rocky Marciano on the evaluation line. Remember, it all starts here. When you're getting your boxer ready to fight a particular style, it all starts here, because the boxer must understand what he needs to do in order to beat this fighter. So, first of all, if you're boxing Rocky Marciano, you must know that Rocky Marciano keeps his weight over his right side. During the time that he was fighting, there was very few left-handers, almost no left-handed heavyweights. He kept his weight over his right side. So that meant that the right-hander's natural way to move was toward his power, which is his right hand. He would make his approach. He would make his approach with his left hand down, wanting the boxer to commit with a jab or a right hand or whatever else, because he knew where he was going that way. So if you watch Marciano would be crawling up there looking for you to do something dumb, like try to fight him, and he would take advantage of the fact that you, the right-hander, could not move back to your right. So First of all, his power was his right hand. His ability to move right kept the other boxer on the ropes all the time or in a corner. His unbelievable power and durability allowed him to roll punches and actually get hit with punches and walk right through them, because the other guy would always fully extend himself over his left foot, and he was all on his right foot, and he would very seldom take all the power of any of the punches that they're throwing at him. But more importantly, he threw about 100 punches around, and he was capable of breaking boards with the punches he hit you with. So in preparation to get for Rocky Marciano, the one thing you must take into mind immediately is do not move toward his right hand. Do not give him the ability to take you to the corners and to rough you up and hit you with right hands by you moving toward his right hand. In order to beat Rocky Marciano, you had to have the ability to do the same thing that he done. You had to have the ability to move to your right. And that's how he fought. So if he's boxing a right-hander that moves to his right, he's got a major problem. I mean, moves to his left, I'm sorry. Moves to his left, he's got a problem. And what he would do when one of these right-handed boxers did try to go that way, he'd actually stick his leg out and hook them this way. He was very good at reaching and hooking, but he'd get his foot outside their foot so that he could do it. Okay, so in order to beat him, number one, you would not be aggressive with him. You would stand your ground, but you would not be aggressive. Number one is you would box him with your weight over your right leg so that you're stepping every time you jab, and if he slips it, you pull him this way. If he slips it on his left shoulder, you push him this way. Preferably, don't push him this way because he's going to throw the right hand. So the best way would be make him move this way with him and make him slip the jabs over his left shoulder. And then you make the move. That's just one of them. Let me introduce one of my boxers to you. He has, I think, 19 amateur fights, 18, I think he stopped 16 of them, and he's a slugger type. Just to show you coaches out there, I don't just teach boxers, I have some punchers too, you know. Anyway, let me introduce John Shelton. Come on over here, John. John is going to be Rocky Marciano for us today. And what he's going to do is, let me turn my back to the camera because I want to explain to the audience here what Marciano does. Show me what Marciano does. Marciano fought over his right leg like that, kept his left hand about right here. He would roll right hands with his shoulder. He'd roll, just roll your shoulder over. He'd roll right hands, there you go. That was his thing right there. And then he'd block left hooks by just staying there, just stay there. And then he'd try to hit you with right hands over the top. Marciano was always coming. He was never backing up. So let's get right here a little bit. We won't do the line right now. I just want to show the audience what I'm talking about here. It'd be better over here. Let's get right here. There you go. All right, now get in your Marciano stance. Now my job to get ready for Marciano is to have my boxer over his right leg. If he throws the jab and Marciano slips the jab this way, just stay right where you're at, Marciano. If he throws this and he slips the jab that way, it is your boxer's job immediately not to do this, but to do this. Push him away. Push him away. You just stay put. Go right here and push yourself off of him. Now, the purpose in this is to get a position that you can punch at him. One thing you don't want to do is, like I say, you don't want to go this way after he slips a punch, because he's going to hit you with a wide right hand down here or a wide right hand over the top, and then he's going to be moving that way. He's going to continue to move that way until he just beats you down to the ground. So what you've got to do is you've got to make him make that approach, and you've got to stick. And if you miss him here, you've got to make this turn and explode this way and go on out to your right. Another thing is if he's coming to you and he slips the punch this way over your right shoulder, slip it over your right, no, just slip it over your right shoulder here coming in, just slip your right shoulder right there. That's the time you want to make your go the other way. Once he's got his weight on his left foot, go. Boom. Now you can make the turn and then you can go. Okay? But you don't want to, no way do you want to throw this jab here and move this way, or throw the jab and let him come inside and then move back this way. So his head will determine which way you go. Which 90% of the time he's going to slip jabs over this way. A lot of times he'll jab, and throw it from about right there, and he'll jab right here, and he's making, and then he'll boogie up. So every time he takes a step forward, your boxer with his weight on his right foot's got to take a step back, right there. Don't confront him. Don't confront him. As long as your boxer, as long as he's coming forward with that old jab he throws from there, you want to let it catch, boom and push off, and boom and push off, and boom and push off, and boom and push off. If you're going to throw a right hand, you better throw a left hook behind it, because you don't want to end up on this side. You go this way. Okay. In order to prepare for that, you want to get your boxer doing these things. Okay, John, thank you. That was excellent. Anyway, you get your boxer on this line this way, and you don't practice going forward with your boxer to fight Rocky Marciano. You practice standing your ground and backing up and sticking, backing up and sticking, backing up and sticking, backing up and sticking. And if you want to move, break down, go and shoot this way. Make sure that if Marciano's head goes to this side, you're going this way. If Marciano's head goes to this side and his right hand goes with it, then you're going this way. But as soon as you get out from going this way, you want to work your way back to the other side and get your weight back on your right foot. Now what that will do, that will force Marciano to have to move to his left. And in order for him to move to his left, he's got to do this. And he didn't have quick feet, he had slow feet. Kept them pretty close together, so he had to wobble over there. So he's not going to get there quick enough. And hardly ever did you see him take his head over his left foot and reach with a hook. It was always this kind of hook, pulling it back to his right leg, or reaching down here and hitting you to the body and throwing the right hand over the top or the right hand underneath. So in order to prepare your boxer to beat Rocky Marciano, what's the keys to victory? The key to victory is to match jabs. Don't force the jab. To let him pursue, but on his pursuit, try to be aware of which way he's slipping. If he's slipping over his left shoulder, you go this way. If he's trying to take his head across to throw the hook, you go this way. Otherwise, you fight off of this, and if you're going to get around him, you get around this way because that's his short side. Okay? So in order to practice that on this evaluation line, you have your boxer start here, start on the front of the line, and hit that jab, throw that jab, block, throw that jab, hook off your jab, walk this way, throw the jab, push, walk this way, throw combinations. Every time you get your boxer to go to this side, make him come back with this, or make him come back with this hook right, or make him come back with maybe a right uppercut and a left hook and out, away from Marciano's right side. So you've got to make your boxer first do these things on this evaluation line. Right here, don't let him go forward. Let him stand his ground. Or go back and go back. Maybe hook off a jab, like I say, walk, hit him, bing, bing. Throw your combinations to the right side. We will get in the ring. We will do this on the bags. We will do this on every bag in the gym to show you that preparing for a style as awkward as Marciano or Ali is easy, but you must do it on each of the bags. You must have it in your mind every day, and you must have a coach or a trainer that is going to make sure that you're doing it correctly. Then you bring in sparring partners that fight like Marciano, and if they don't, you make them fight like Marciano so that you can practice your boxing. Okay? So I guess now that we've done the evaluation line, let's move to the ring, and let me use the boxer to show you in the ring how to do these things. Okay, here we are in the ring now, preparing to fight Rocky Marciano. And Rocky Marciano was possibly the greatest heavyweight that's ever lived. There's arguments going on all over the world, I'm sure, about that, but we all think this guy or that guy was the best there was, but his record shows it. And I think if he was, it was because of his style. I believe styles make a fight. I believe his greatest competitors would not be of the last 30 years. I think they would be the ones he fought, because the boxers since Ali and since have, all the heavyweights have almost all circled the same direction, or in the case of a Mike Tyson just goes at you head to head, and whichever guy gets hit first goes. I think it would be between Rocky Marciano and Sonny Liston, who would be the best fighters in the world at Sonny Liston's prime. So it's hard to argue that Rocky Marciano is the only undefeated heavyweight champion of the world. So therefore, there must be a reason for people thinking the way they do sometimes about Marciano. But I believe it's because of his style. And that's part of what we do here in this ring today, is explain to you how hard it was to get away from Rocky Marciano first, and then show you the only way that one could have gotten away from him had someone boxed him this way. But anyway, I'm going to use my assistant trainer here, Oscar Rodriguez, to demonstrate some of the stuff we're going to do. Come on over here, Oscar. We're going to show you what Marciano done, and we're going to show you what we need to do in order to beat that style. Number one, Marciano kept his weight over his right leg, like I said earlier, and he is going to be moving to his right all the time when you move to your left. So therefore, eventually or right away, you're going to end up on the ropes or the corners, and you're going to have to fight him. Okay? Well, you didn't have to fight him, but everybody seemed to have done that, because he was smart enough not to let right-handers get around him this way. Well, he invites you to get around this way, I think. But right-handers of that era didn't have the ability to go that way. Number one, when he throws his jab to the body, throw your jab to the body, that invites you to take it out and go to your right. It also invites you to possibly just go on out. But when you go on out, on 2 to 3 steps, you're going to be on the ropes. So what you want to do, when he jabs to that body, you must take it out and get that lead and go back to him this way, because that's the way he has a problem with. You could do it this way, here, shoot here and here and here, and push yourself on out. Or you could, or if he jabbed to your head, you could slip it over your left shoulder. He had a sort of a hook jab, so that he'd make you stay inside of it. But when he threw that hook jab, you must get under it. You must get under it. That way you can shoot back underneath here and go, okay? You do not stay there and fight him. Number one is when he jabs down here and you're going to come back to him, you only want to throw 2 to 3 punches and you're gone. And when you do go, you don't want to go all the way over the ropes. You just want to go right on around him and make him turn back into your right hand. That's what you want him to do. Okay? And on his approach, Keep that hand about right there, about right there. And on his approach, get your feet closer together and sort of boogie up. On his approach, he wanted to get right there and just lob that right hand over the top. Every time he did, you want to go on out. You want to make sure that your head stays outside his left hand, and when he starts, go. You want to go this way, because anytime you came this way, he had a major problem. But regardless, he's tough enough and mean enough and durable enough that he can just grab you and throw you in a corner. So what happens when you hit a corner? Here's what you do. Number one is if he's that far away from you, you want to give him different directions. You want to give him up and downs. You don't want to just stand here and let him maul in on you, because he'll break your arms. So what you want to do is you want to hit this corner going left, going right. If you can make him, if you can, for instance, make him go right here and then go back the other way, you can go. Or if you can make him break down that way and go this way, that's good. But you got to give him looks. You got to stay eye level. You can't get above him. Never get above a short boxer. If you're a taller guy, spread your legs a little bit further apart so that you're eye level. And you got to do this on the bags and everything else. Matter of fact, with Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, if you watch that bout, you would notice that every time Evander got ready, or those bouts, to throw at Mike Tyson, he bent his legs and got down there with him so that he didn't lose any leverage. He didn't want to be punching up at him, okay? So you want to get eye level with Marciano or anyone else that's short. If he throws the jab first and you have the ability to go against him right here, you can go. Or if you're inside and he throws a wide right to the body, watch this now. This is a reaction punch. You want to turn toward the punch. Watch. Right here and react back and go. Let me see if we can give them a better angle if you're throwing that wide right. Let's do it right here. Now watch what I do. If I'm in a corner here and he throws the wide right, I go right here. Now see how I sit down over this leg. I'm going to explode back, okay? Now I'm going to make sure that that's the only punch he's going to throw. If he really wings it, that's usually going to be the one, and I'm going to get him. I'm going to go. Wow, 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 and then I might go. But one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to let him throw it, and I'm going to go boom and then cover up, because he's going to hit me 15 times, and every time he hits me, he's going to hurt me. So therefore, which way do I escape? I always escape to my right. As he's coming to me, get your right hand up, and jab. Oh, yeah, there you go. Just come on to me and poke that jab out there. Now watch what I'm doing. See what I'm doing? Now I can take that away anytime I want to. Go ahead and throw the jab. Watch. I can take it away and go this way, and I can work this side of him and make him keep turning. Never go to a boxer's right who's got his weight over his right leg. That's a big mistake. Remember, Ali tried that with Ken Norton. All Ken Norton could do is walk this way. All Ali could do is box that way. He couldn't. He just kept walking into everything Ken Norton done. Well, Marciano is like Ken Norton in that he kept his weight over here, and he would get up to you and just wade up to you and walk right through you. So your key to beating Marciano, number one, is when he jabs to your body or to your head, you want to take it out this way, or if it's a jab to your head, you want to take it this way. You want to bump to your right. If you're going to punch when you do that, go ahead. You're going to shoot here and quick, and go. All right? If you're caught in a corner and you have to fight him, he's got you cornered, you want to react. And then which way do you want to go after you react? See, watch. Go ahead, throw the wide right. Boom. And then don't go this way. This is the way you want to go. Go. Wow, and go. Get your tail out of there. Go to your right. Do everything to your right. Match jabs right here, and then escape from his jab. If he does throw his right hand at you, you don't want to go. You don't want to slip his right hand like you'd slip a lot of right-handers. You don't want to slip it this way. You want to roll it, go, and go out. Because he's not going to hit you with that hook because you're already outside of it. Keep your head outside his left hand every time he does something. and keep yourself moving to the right. On the inside, you get inside, Marciano loves to just maul you. He'll hit you here and he'll hit you here. You might react. For instance, you might throw the wide right at me, to the body, and I might react here and then just fall into you right here. And as soon as I get here, I might look for that left elbow to get rid of him. And every time I do get rid of him, I'm going to get rid of him on this side. I'm never going to try to get rid of him on the other side. Those are just little bitty things that make all the difference in the world in beating a guy who is fighting over his right leg, who moves to his right, don't have a good ability to move to his left. He moves forward very well. He moves to his right very well, and he don't need to move backwards. So you've got to fight around him this way. You got to take what he gives you, and you've got to make the best of it. It's some of the punches you throw on Marciano would be this right here, boom, right here, or actually you could even, if he fell into you with his head, you could hit him with a right uppercut, but I wouldn't stay there long. I'd just go right on around. As long as you fight around his left side, around this way, he's got a major problem. And as long as you can match jabs, make him lead and then pop him with a jab and make sure you step when you do it, like this, and keep moving this way away from his right hand, he has a problem. So anyway, this is how you prepare to box or to fight Rocky Marciano. Now let me say this too about this thing with Rocky Marciano. This ain't just Rocky Marciano. This is a lot of sluggers. This is the way you fight a slugger. And Marciano, if there ever was a slugger, that would be Marciano. But you know that style, so that's what we're doing. We're taking that style apart and showing you how to beat him. So I hope you've learned something from this. I hope you've got a better idea of how technical boxing can be and why they call it the sweet science. Okay, here we are at the heavy bag in preparation for Rocky Marciano, the slugger. Now, Rocky Marciano could break bones, okay? So if you have someone boxing Rocky Marciano, it wouldn't be a wise idea to have them jump on him. The key is to take advantage of his liabilities, and his liabilities was his ability to cut off the ring going this way because he kept all of his weight on this side. Most sluggers do. Most sluggers, Rocky Graziano, Rocky Marciano, all of them. Ken Norton, all of them. They want to be over here because they want to fight up to you from this side. That's their strong side, okay? Well, Marciano was no different. And the way to beat Marciano was to take away not what he done, but to take away from him being able to corner you and to keep you on the ropes. Well, the way to do that was to be able to circle to your right, which none of the boxers of that era seemed to have the ability to do. So in preparation for him, your boxers must, when they hit the heavy bag, first of all, hit a heavy bag, not a little bitty light one. Secondly, you want them moving to the right. Thirdly, you want them on the end of their jab, fighting up to Marciano and not through Marciano. You want to use Marciano's weight against him and his aggressiveness against him. And the only way you can do that is to stay away from his right side. So he fights over his right side. Your boxer fights into the left side and around his left side. He does not fight into Marciano's power, and he does not get into the ropes. He gets out of the ropes by getting out the same way, away from Marciano's power. So John, come on over here. John Rorden, he's gonna do the getaway and the what you do with Marciano when you boxing. And this is all in preparation for when you go in the ring and box with Rocky Marciano later, or a slugger, okay? So I'll tell you what I want you to do. I want you to hit the heavy bag. I want you to move to your right. I want you to anything, any combination you throw, I want you doing it to your right. I want you to let the bag come to you at times and keep it on the end and get around it and then explode on it, okay? All right, let's see what you got. Good, good. Get back on that jab. Don't be jumping at him. Can't be jumping at him. You got to let him come. There you go. There you go. Now let him come. Let him come. Let him come. Lay off that uppercut too. Don't do that. Marciano will clip you with that jab. With that left hook. There you go. Okay. Let's see you bump right and throw your right hand lead as that goes that way. There you go. And then shoot back underneath with the left hook. Going off to your right though. Going off to your right. Throw it and bump. They're going off. Nope. Don't do that. Throw that right, straight right hand and bump over and throw your left underneath. Nope. Don't come right at him. Throw the right hand, bump to your right. There you go, there you go. Keep bumping to your right if you're going to throw anything underneath. Anything thrown underneath will be to your right. There you go. Throw that right hand in, bump to your right, and throw that left up. There you go, good, excellent. All right, stop. That's pretty good. The only thing I've seen that you could have done more of is jab and feint a little bit, touch him, and give him some feints and touch him and let him crawl up to you. And then slip and bump. But that's okay. That's okay. That was excellent. That was excellent for an ugly little kid. All right. Have a seat. Anyway, that'll give you an idea of how you prepare for Rocky Marciano on the heavy bags. You don't just go hit the heavy bags any way you want to. You don't go jump on a heavy bag and say, I'm going to get in great shape and go beat Rocky Marciano or any slugger who fights that way and throws a lot of wide punches and throws them from his right side. You do not want to go jump on this guy. Okay, so I would say that in preparation for Rocky Marciano, that was a pretty good example of how you hit the heavy bag for him. Okay, so we're going to move on now and go to another position here in the gym. Okay, here we are over by the speed bag in preparation to beat Rocky Marciano, or for that matter, the Slugger. Don't forget, we're just using these names and those specific styles to explain how to prepare to beat these guys, their weaknesses, and how to capitalize on them. Okay, and on a speed bag, you say, well, how do you work a speed bag for Rocky Marciano or a slugger like Rocky Marciano? What's the difference in working for another fighter? Most boxers work the speed bag the same way, showing off, okay? So the idea here is to get you ready to fight Marciano and keep your mind on how you're going to fight Marciano and through working the speed bag in ways that will enhance your ability to beat him. Okay, number one is in beating Marciano, you've got to have a jab. And you have to be stepping with your jab or he will just walk right through it. Okay, that's number one. Number two is you have to do everything off to your right side. If you do anything because you're fighting away from his strength, because that's the power, his right hand, and he keeps his weight on the right side of his body, so you fight around him this way. So when you have your boxers hit the speed bag, you'll have them hit it maybe 1 minute the way they normally hit it, which would be all right, but for Marciano, you don't want them that close to the speed bag because you don't want to be that close to Marciano. Also, too, you want to be able to make your boxer take his head out and go to the right a lot. That's very important. So when you hit the speed bag in preparation for Marciano or a slugger that's strong on his right side, you want to be able to move away from the right hand. So best thing to do with Marciano is get your boxer's weight first back to his back leg so that Marciano don't get up against him, because if his weight's forward, Marciano will have his head stuck in your chest every minute. So therefore, you have to be able to keep your weight to your back foot like Marciano does, so that he's got to step in order to hit you. Secondly, when you hit this speed bag, you want to get your boxers, after say 1 minute of just hitting it normally, spend 1 minute doing it this way. watch my left foot. You know, what I'm doing here is keeping everything on the end. Now I can move to my right, getting in a rhythm and moving to my right so that I can throw my right hand or get away that way. So if you can't step with your left foot, you're hurting yourself. And then when you bump, you can have them explode there, or you can have them do this. You can have them bump and shoot straight up, boom, under here. Because that's what you want to do with Marciano. You want to slip jabs here, and you want to shoot up, or you want to shoot this way and walk. Now, if you're going to walk, first get that left foot working. That left foot and that left hand is everything. And walk and explode, you know. Or you can do the same thing underneath here, exploding. And then let them walk out and start over again. Walk back up, get here, and get them to do that stuff for 1 minute of the 3-minute round in which they work the bag, because that gets them refocused on what it is they're preparing to do. It also enhances their skills at doing it. So a speed bag is not something just to make noise. A speed bag, if used correctly, like they did when they built them or when they made them or started using them, if you use it correctly, it can enhance your skills, and you can use it to prepare for any style in boxing. This is the way you prepare for the slugger. Okay, how do you prepare for Rocky Marciano or any slugger on a double end bag? First of all, you want to remember that Marciano is a long rhythm boxer. He's a slugger. He reaches. He makes long moves. He's not making little short, choppy moves like a fighter, like a Joe Frazier. He's making a long rhythm move. Everything he does, he has to get up to you or reach for you to hit you. Once he gets up against you, you know, he's going to bang you pretty dadgum good, but he's got to get up against you first. So in preparation to fight this slugger, a guy that throws really wide punches, a guy that throws really long punches over the top and long punches to the body, and really don't care a whole lot whether or not you hit him or not. He'll give up. He'll let you hit him 3 or 4 punches in order for him to hit you 1. So in preparation for him, you do not get on a little double end bag that's stretched so tight that is doing this. You do not box Rocky Marciano inside. The idea is to keep Rocky Marciano outside on the end of everything. And you know for a fact that he keeps his weight way over here. And when he does keep his weight way over here like this, what does that mean? That means that he does not step to his left very good, because he wants to stick his leg out here and stop you, or stick his arm out here and stop you, or hook off of a jab and stop you. He wants you fighting into his power, his right hand. Now, remember that right-handers move naturally to their left, which would be into his right hand. Back in the days Marciano was fighting, or the big sluggers with right hands were fighting, everybody fought into their power. That was their fight, making the other right-hander, and they never fought left-handers. So if they make the right-hander move into their power, which is a natural way for a right-hander to move, is this way into your power, then therefore he's going to be in the ropes and the corners all the time, and Marciano was strong enough to keep you there and knock you dead. You can hurt your ribs, hurt your arms. Ask Archie Moore, broke blood vessels in his arms. So you cannot move to your left against Marciano with him fighting on that side and throwing right hands to your head, right hands to your body. You cannot do that. If you do that, you've got a problem, okay? So, in preparation to box Rocky Marciano or any slugger that fights over his right foot and throws long punches, you must learn to move to your right. You must be able to keep your weight on your right foot, and you must be able to prepare on each bag how to fight Rocky Marciano, okay? You prepare to fight that specific style before you go fight him. You don't try to learn it while you're fighting because it ain't going to work, okay? So in preparation to fight Marciano or his style of fighter on a double end bag, what do you not want? You don't want a bag that goes, you want a long rhythm bag. 99.9% of everything you practice in a gym should be in a long rhythm, because a long rhythm is about 99.9% of the boxers out there, whether they be sluggers, runners, or whatever. Now, if it's a fighter like Joe Frazier, that's a different story. And, we've got a video on how to fight Joe Frazier, or how to fight a fighter like Joe Frazier or Armstrong or any of them guys. But this is how to fight Rocky Marciano or a Slugger. Now, in order to do this, you have to have your boxer keep his weight on his right leg, does not want it over his left leg, or you will be eating right hands all night long with Marciano. If you've got your weight on your left leg, he's going to be hitting you down in here on your elbows and your arms and your body, and you're going to be, well, you're going to be getting knocked out, okay? You want your weight on your right foot. You want to be able to box Marciano with your left jab. You want to be able to step forward with your jab. You do not need to have your boxer running up and doing anything forward. What he wants to do is he wants to fight Marciano from right here out and around. You want Marciano slipping jabs over his left shoulder, so you want to be touching him. And when you do go this way, you can automatically have your boxer miss a jab on purpose down here and pull and throw his right, his left, and his hook, and his right, and his left, and his hook, moving toward his right. He can even do this. He can take a bump out and let that bag come and hit it with an uppercut. Touch, make the turnover, and boom, okay? Now watch what I done there. Watch. I take my head on my right leg, I step, I hit it, I make the bag come back to me and make a bump this way, outside his right hand here, boom, 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 and walk, okay? Everything you do with Marciano is this way. Everything you do with Marciano is on the end. If you're going to extend any kind of hook, if you're going to extend a hook, this would be the best way to extend it. Make the bump first and then extend it, because it takes you totally away from his right hand. That's not to say Marciano didn't have a left hook. But guess what? Marciano threw his left hook from here. He never, ever, you never see him taking his head all the way out to throw the hook and stepping with it. He would either go from here to here and throw the hook from his left foot over, or he would just reach out and throw it from here. So therefore, anything you do this way to him makes him fight back into what? Your right hand, okay? And if you hit him, if you're able to hit him with jabs, and you're able to come under and hit him with uppercuts, and make him fight back toward your right hands, you throw in your right hands, he's got a major problem, okay? That's how you prepare your boxer on the double end bag as well. He can do these same things on the double end bag. He don't have to do them for the whole round. He can do it for a minute of the round, but make sure that if he's preparing to box Marciano, that he practices these things and stays focused on beating that type of style. Not Marciano in particular, but most sluggers that fight wide. Do not be moving toward their right hand. Do not be doing that. Now you might say, well, what if he's a big left hooker? That's okay too. That's okay too. If he's a big left hooker and don't have a right hand, naturally you can move back this way and fight him on this side and keep him going this way, and he's got a major problem. But most wide punchers and most good punchers fight off their back leg, and most of them throw overhand stuff with right hands over the top and to the body and straight right hands. Most of them fight this side because they face you full. They face you full. All right? So anyway, I'm going to bring one of my boxers over here, and he's going to demonstrate for me how to, or for you, how to fight Rocky Marciano, or anybody of that style, hopefully. You understand what we're doing here? Can you do that? Can you do just about everything to your right? Can you do this, make that bag come and go ahead and stick down here instead of at the bag so you can do a walkover, then throw your right hand? Can you do this little bump back right here and throw the uppercut and then the right hand? Can you do those things? Sure you can. You know why? Because he's fundamentally sound. And you know what makes him fundamentally sound? Practice your fundamentals, coaches. That's what this is all about. Okay, let's see you do that. Keep that jab out there now, cause then don't be going forward. There you go. No, nothing forward. Just keep bump there. Now let's see you bump out and throw that left uppercut. Now see, you just stood right in front of. Okay, stop for a second. There you go. You just stood right in front of the bag and threw a right uppercut. No. With Marciano, you do not stand in front of Marciano and throw a right uppercut. You're going to eat a left hook and then a right hand and whatever else he's going to do, okay? Remember, you're fighting outside his left hand. Everything you do. How would you throw an uppercut underneath here? No, a left uppercut. Forget that right uppercut. You might as well put that in your back pocket. You coaches understand that. No right uppercuts against Marciano. Okay, go. Boom, right here, now bump. Okay, no, this right here, bump right here, back inside. There you go, back inside, right there. Back inside, boom, right there. Okay, another thing, let's see you do a hook off with a jab and walk with it. All right, now go, yeah, there you go. Now that's what you do, but don't take your eyes off. Okay, let's see you do that a few times. Oh, there you go, now bump on over. There you go. Keep your chin down when you do that. If you're going to throw that uppercut, when you move around, come back with a combination. Right there, right hand right behind that. Make the same move. There you go. All right, stop. All right? Broke the bag here. Anyway, if he prepares to fight Marciano in this way, and he prepares on the double end bag that way, he is going to be in a position to do all the things he needs to do in the center of the ring to do that. Now, we're going to go up to the ring, and we're going to do hand pads, and we're going to show what happens in the corners with Marciano, how you get out of the corners, and so on and so forth. But you understand that the basic things you do to fight a guy that's a wide puncher and keeps his weight on his right side and is a big banger with his right hand is to fight away from his right hand and to use a lot of jabs and a lot of bumps to your right so that when you come back on him, you're not fighting into that power, okay? And again, coaches, double end bags are set up for specific styles, okay? Let's move into the ring and do some hand pads. You ready? Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I guess we're going to get you ready to fight Rocky Marciano. Ooh, does that scare you? Why? You know why it don't scare you? Because you know styles. You know how to compete against different styles. Boxers, amateur boxers boxing in tournaments, they fight a different style just about every day. They have somebody different. They have tall guys, short guys, left-handers, right-handers, sluggers. I mean, they got them all. Runners, they got them all. Well, for him to be able to beat Rocky Marciano is just like I showed you on the bags. It's just like I showed you on the line. It's just like I showed you on every aspect of how to beat the slugger. Marciano keeps his weight over his right leg. Marciano makes his approach over here. Marciano's ability to take his left foot and his head out to throw a hook was extremely rare, and if he did, he'd do it this way. Okay? So the idea here is don't fight into Marciano's power. Marciano is wanting to make this boxer move this way because this is where his power is. He wants to throw this old jab, half hook out here. He wants to throw that straight right hand to the body. He wants to loop that right hand to the head. He wants to take him and shove him up against the ropes and bang that and get up here and bang that body and bang that body and bang that body make him go that way and hit him with big right hands. Or he might take him like he did Jersey Joe Walcott. And Jersey Joe Walcott bent his legs, got down there, and Marciano hit him, boom, with a right hand and dropped him, knocked him out. Okay? Because he wants you on the ropes, and he wants you fighting into his power. He was a devastating puncher. It hurt you to the body, busted blood vessels in Archie Moore's arms. That's how hard he hit. But boxers then, right-handers then, very seldom moved to the right, with the exception of Willie Pep and some of the Ray Robinson and some of the greatest boxers, Benny Leonard way back then. They could move all four directions. Boxers during Marciano's era and during Ali's era had no ability to move to their right. They could only move to their left. Okay? So what you don't want to do with this boxer is let your boxer move to the left, to his left on a strong right-hand puncher that keeps his weight over here. Okay, so how do you do that? You peg jabs, you peg jabs, you peg jabs. If he jabs down here, you just match him up. Keep your weight way back on your right foot so that if he starts to throw anything from here, you just go right on out, go on out. There you go, just like that. That's number one. Number two is when you go out, when he jabs, you slip over this shoulder. Don't be slipping jabs over this shoulder, because then you're fighting into his power. If you're going to slip jabs, do them that way. If you're going to go to that way, if you want to go to your left to rest or something, you take your head and your foot out for right, then go on out and get out of range totally. And as he starts getting back to you, you start getting back eye level with him. He's going to be shorter than you, and there you go, touching again, touching and touching and touching. And then when he runs at you, bump out and shoot. There you go. Let's do that again. Let's do it over here for the audience. Go right there. Boom. Yeah, there you go. Here he is. Boom. There you go. And then speed down the middle. Ready to go. Boom, 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 boom. Don't get that close, see? Don't get that close. Push off. Push off. Ready? Boom. There you go. There you go. There you go. Now you want to hit him with uppercuts this way. If he rushes you on this side straight in, you want to make a turn with your right foot. No, stay right here. You ain't going to have time to get both feet moving. Just when he rushes, you want to take that right foot around. Take it on around and set on it. Shoot. Boom. Right there. Do it again. Set right there. Boom. Boom. There you go. Okay. Let's just practice some. Okay. Let's throw some punches. Now remember what I said. Direction. If I go here, where does he go? Okay. If I go straight at him, where does he go? There you go. Get that left hand up if you go around that way. Remember, this is dynamite. If he throws the wide right to your body, how do you take it away from him? There you go, and walk on out with it. Go on out. No, you take that and boom and walk. And make him come back to you. There you go. Now stick him with a jab. 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 Right here. Boom. Okay. Okay. All right. What you do here with the right uppercut, how you get? Take your head back. No. Don't get right there in front of him. Take your head out. Right there. Boom. Right there. Okay? So what he does when you work with him on the hand pads, make him do everything moving that way. Okay, get one. Get one. Get one. Get one. One. Right hand lead. Step over before you throw the right hand lead. There you go. Always step over. Why do you step over there? See? There you go, because I'm coming right here. See? Right there. There you go. And then the uppercut. There you go. Bump on out with it. There you go. Now here's Marciano, and you just sort of shadow box with those as I come to you. Do them. What are you looking for? Boom. There you go. Boom. There you go. Touch me with a jab. Don't let me get close. Get your weight back. Get your weight back to that back foot. Keep me pushing up. Push on. No, push off and go backwards with it. Push off and go backwards with it. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. What's Marciano going to do now? Look. What's Marciano going to do? He can't do nothing with this hand. He's got to reach out here and do this, don't he? But he's got his weight on his right leg. Do it again. He ain't going to hit him with that. Look. He can jump all he wants to. He's not going to hit him with it. Let's just do a little speed work. Get 4. Boom. Boom. Right, come on, get on out of there. Here he comes. Oh, you got caught. Got caught on them ropes. Got caught on them ropes. Don't get there. Then the right hand. Right there, right hand lead. Push off with it. Push on back with it. Throw it and push off. There you go. Then the hook. There you go. Now see what he's doing is he's taking everything away from Marciano's right hand. He's touching here by taking his weight to his back foot. Marciano throws the right hand, he just goes right on around. Marciano is not going to step with his left foot. He's all over that side. Marciano, if he touches him here and does a bump here, what does Marciano have to do? Here's Marciano, right here. The guy goes this way, what's he going to do? Is he going to turn his back and go this way? No, he's going to turn right back into the right hand. That's what you keep him doing. If you get in the ropes with, come here. If you get in the ropes with him, you don't fight him. You don't fight him. Get in the ropes over here. Get right here in the corner. This guy wants to get up against you and bang you. First, when you hit that corner, you give him left to right. Go move left to right, up and down. You know, get in a quick rhythm, real quick rhythm. Now, there you go. A lot of motion. Give him a feint. Go this way, and make him throw that right hand and take off back the other way. There you go. Come here. Give him an angle this way. Make him lead with that hook. And go on the. Don't go that way. Go under it.
All right.
Go under it. Go under it. Right there. Next time, react on it. Don't go this way. Okay. Here you go. Right here. No. Underneath, because that's where his head's going to be. Go. If he goes down here, when you go that way, you hit him that way. Go that way and duck this one. Oh, duck it. Just duck it. Just duck it. Don't react. React on the first one and duck the second one. Ready? Go here. Boom. Okay. Next time, get back in there. Go that way. Make me throw. Boom. Going out. Okay. All right. Don't fight back into his power. If he's going to throw that, if he wants to throw that hook to the body, just react on him. Bing, turn that right heel out and stick his head up, boom, and hook and go. Get on out of there. You don't need to stay there with him. That's how you prepare for one of these guys that walk up here and wing things or reach with them or fall in with them. And don't get me wrong. Marciano was a bad, bad dude. You know why? Because nobody cut the ring off better than he did. Nobody got in better position to punch than he did, even if he had to stick his leg and his arm out and pull you this way over to this side. He would do that. And he was awkward, and he hit really hard, and he'd get you to jab, and he'd rock way back here to get away from a jab, and the guy's moving this way, he'd hit him with that, he'd step and hit him with that right hand. If you don't move that way, if you fight him to the front, over, and around, and make him keep turning, that's how you beat him. Now, in a fight, now he might be able to rough you up and beat you down, and next thing you know, you're moving that way and you're knocked out. Well, that's how he done everybody. But there's only one way to fight him, and that's the way I just showed you. That's the way to fight him. Ali wouldn't have done good fighting him. Why wouldn't Ali do good fighting him? Because Marciano moved well this way and couldn't move that way. Ali moved well this way into his power, into the ropes, into the corners, right where he didn't need to be. He done the same thing with Ken Norton. Ken Norton was no great fighter, but Ken Norton had the style to beat Ali because Ken Norton, like Marciano, couldn't move to his left. He could only move to his right. Not that Ali wasn't great. Ali was great. Not that Marciano wasn't great. Marciano was great. All of them's great. You know, everybody we're trying to beat through these videos are great fighters. But there's a way to beat them. A well-taught fighter will beat a natural fighter all day long. Okay, coaches, I hope you learned something. That's it, Pelon. Thank you. And I tell you what, let's move on. I hope you enjoyed these videos on the sweet science. If you have our previous videos on You Can Learn to Box, and you know all the fundamentals that were taught on those videos, the sweet science video will help you tremendously. If you're a coach out there that's not sound on your fundamentals, it's going to be really hard to teach what we're teaching through the sweet science videos because you don't have a strong base in fundamentals. I believe that fundamental boxing is boxing. And what happens is a lot of us coaches get out there and we want to teach this magic and that magic. There's no magic. There's just fundamentals and doing things correctly. And I know there's a lot of you out there that says, what is correct? You know, boxing is not defined in an encyclopedia as a thing of correctness. Well, there is a correct way to do every aspect of boxing. I've researched it greatly. And recently in Singapore, I say recently, a few years back in Singapore, and I tell this at the clinics I give, I went over there to give a clinic, and there was about 300 coaches from all over that part of the world with interpreters in about 6 different languages. And I walked out onto the stage, and I looked out in the audience, and the first thing that come to mind is to ask the coaches this question. How many of you coaches can define boxing? And there's a big silence over the crowd. And I thought that was funny in a way because, you know, I thought everybody could define boxing, and I got to think about it, you know, hey, maybe they can't, you know. And it wasn't a trick question, but boxing is the art of hitting an opponent from the furthest distance away, exposing the least amount of your body while getting into position to punch with maximum leverage and not getting hit. That's what boxing is. That is the perfect definition of boxing, I believe. And that's what we teach through our fundamentals on You Can Learn to Box. That's what we teach on these advanced techniques. Advanced techniques are called the sweet science of boxing. It's always been called that. And that's where a lot of argument comes in. But if you're sound in your fundamentals, you'll be sound in what you teach in the sweet science, which is advanced techniques. Anyway, another thing I want to touch on before I let you go is that USA Boxing, the training center at Colorado Springs, I'm constantly getting people coming and saying, yeah, Kenny, man, those guys up there, they don't teach nothing. They do this and they do that. You know, they got track coaches up there and they got this. Well, let me tell you something, folks. We should be extremely pleased with what USA Boxing does for boxing in this country. I believe Tom Coulter, for instance, is the best there is in teaching diet and plyometrics and all that and how it pertains to boxers. Nobody, and I've been around the world many times, nobody teaches it better than Tom Coulter does. So, you know, as far as the coaches up there go and the inability of them to teach your boxer, well, if they did teach your boxer, you would raise Cain and Grap just like I would, all of us do. But they're not there to teach your boxer the way things are set up. They are there to maintain what you have taught your boxer. So don't get down on the coaches. The politics of it all, you know, hey, got politics and everything, but I'm well pleased with what they do, and I'm well pleased with what they are developing through that process. I'm not happy with a lot of the political stuff, no more than you are, but overall they do a good job. I want to thank these boxing equipment companies like Ringside and Title and Everlast. They keep coming up with better and better equipment. You know, Amber Boxing Equipment. They're a new boxing equipment company around here. They're all hustling all the time. Ringside Products has done a great job in developing new things to use in your gym. And you know, they've just been great. They know how boxers and boxing people think. And Title is the same way. So is Everlast. So is Amber. I mean, we as coaches need to appreciate these guys. That's not an endorsement of anybody. That's just saying that they work hard, and they thanks to them, we have the kinds of equipment we have. Last but not least, I want to thank my staff here at Galena Park Boxing Academy and Youth Center, Curtis Maniac Martin, I might add, and of course Oscar Rodriguez and John Rorden. Boy, these guys do great work for me, and I appreciate them greatly. Of course, the doc, man, you know, he works on all of our kids. We have been blessed over the years to have been able to do what we do. And you coaches out there, you keep in mind that it seems to be a struggle a lot of times, but it's worth it because of what you mean to the kids. If they never become national champion, if they never become a great boxer, you've given them a foundation to work from. Anyway, thank you for buying this video. Thank you for giving us the success we've had over the years with our videos, and God bless.
You asked me to give up the hand of the girl I love. You tell me I'm not the man she's worthy of. But who are you to tell her who to love? That's up to her.